you have crushed it on TikTok. And I think that you described it earlier, but like it is my personal favorite social network. Like I just love it. I don't know if all my data is going to the CCP in China. I don't really care, whatever, right? But I love it, and I just think there's so much creativity, and and it kind of has that emotion of joy, right? Like it's so talk to me about that evolution there, right? You guys started working on it, I believe, a couple years ago, right? 2-3 years ago. So what prompted you to invest in it in the first place? And then how has your approach changed over time, right? I think that you've talked about authenticity, but talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, so I mean, we jumped on board pretty early on. We had our first campaign on TikTok in the fall of 2019, which I know it was only 2 years ago, but it seems like a lifetime
Yep.
ago. And it was a lifetime ago, and I would say in like sort of the maturity of the brands jumping on to TikTok as a marketing platform. For us, we had our first campaign largely because we were all personally obsessed. I mean, we had all been sort of on the app since 2018, myself included. And I do feel that for marketers who are considering new platforms, it's really important to sort of immerse yourself in that new platform. Maybe this is another lesson from my old like retail days, but we used to be out in stores all the time, and there's nothing that really substitutes. No amount of somebody explaining something to you can substitute the experience of just doing it yourself. And
Yeah.
so for us, we were all on TikTok. We kind of loved it even back then when it was predominantly like lip syncing, mostly. And so we decided that we wanted to be able to take our standing experimental test and learn media budget component and test TikTok. And the results were unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
We obviously like measured the results in terms of like brand lift and ad recall and all of these things, and we just saw numbers that we had never seen before in any other type of paid media campaign. And so we jumped right back in. I think we ran our first campaign in September. The second campaign was in like December. So like as soon as we could just like reactivate, we reactivated. And then that December campaign, we were the first brand that partnered with Charlie D'Amelio. And so that campaign went like crazy as well, because at that time she was like completely taking off like a rocket ship. And then
Yeah.
we kind of went back in again. So it's become a real staple component of our marketing plan. And it has evolved over time. The way that we think about our engagement on it, I would say that we, in the beginning, weren't as savvy in terms of how to build out our owned and organic presence. And now we, I think, have really some best in class ways of approaching that so that we can build our own like audience of fans on the platform. And then in addition, we often we have episodic like creator activations where we get to
Yep.
then reach new audiences and tap into other people's like incredible creativity. And then
Yep.
of course we have a just always investing in paid media on the platform, whether it's through the creator content or our owned content. So I would say that our strategy in the beginning was really like, let's just, we love it. Like, let's just
Yep.
see how it goes. Now I think we have a much more sophisticated strategy in play, where it's a multi-component strategy that we really activate again, I would say 365 days a year. And over that, I think there are a few things that we've learned. I think we've learned that, the platform itself has evolved. So the content on it has evolved. But the one thing that I would say that was true back then, that is true today, is that highly entertaining, like not perfect, not polished content tends to be the most effective and tends to get the highest amount of engagement. And I actually think that that's affecting and influencing content outside of the platform as well. Increasingly, I feel that that's the type of content that's really resonating in other social media platforms, or in other areas of production. And so that is something that where I feel there's been an overarching trend that TikTok has truly influenced. We've found that like working with different creators is continues to be an important part of our platform strategy, where we really need to reach a lot of different audiences, and having that diversified approach across many different creators gives us sort of what I call it, like you got to kind of take a lot of at bats
Yeah.
to strike to be successful, not strike out. I'm gonna mix my sports metaphors, and then you're gonna see how completely unqualified I am to use that metaphor. But to hit a home run, that's what I was gonna say. But yeah, so I mean, you really do. You have to try a lot in order to actually find the things that win. And then we've also found that owned and organic is just as important as paid. That having a really smart strategy around owned and organic allows for us to have our own voice on the platform. It also allows for us to be more relevant. Not that like the weird brand that advertises occasionally, but like the brand that's like a member of the community.
Yep.
And so that's been a really important thing that we've worked really hard over the course of the last 2 years to refine what's our voice and what's our point of view. Our content tends to be funny and authentic, and we don't take ourselves too seriously. And I think as brands have increasingly embraced not taking yourself too seriously and being more authentic and funny and a little raw, I
Yeah.
think that they're going to find a higher degree of success on the platform, because that's really what the community wants.
Yeah. I think the reality is that we're so drowned in content, right? There's just
Yeah,
so many content options available that, having something that's unexpected, having something that is, I think that's appealing to people right now, in
absolutely.
particular.